I'm Mike, and I love to talk about motorhomes. Today we're going to talk about bidet toilet seats. We had one in our house that we sold, and we were trying to get one in our motorhome. While I was at the Newmar service center, I ended up talking to another customer that had put one in his RV. So I knew it was possible. When we got home, I did some more research, and I called some bidet people on the internet, and they said that the problem with my motorhome toilet was that the holes in the porcelain where the bidet is attached are too far apart. They said that it has to be, I think, around 6.5, maybe
5.5.
5.5 to 6 inches. Mine was 8.5. So they said, too bad, so sad that we don't have a bidet toilet seat that will work for your motorhome. So I was talking to my son-in-law. My son-in-law is the person that I say helps me, but actually he does all the work and does a lot of investigation, and he's very analytical and a real sharp cookie. And he does stuff for me in the motorhome. So I was talking to him about the issue of the holes in the porcelain being too far apart. So he said, why don't we just drill new holes? So, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and I said, can we drill through porcelain without cracking it? And he says, sure, you can drill through anything if you get the right drill bit. So we did some investigation, and we found out that a diamond drill bit was what we needed. So I spotted one that was made in Korea, but my son-in-law is a very USA man, and he said, no, let me try to find one that's made in America. So we found one out of Montana, and we got it. It was a 1/2 inch. We had measured the bolts that were going to go through the porcelain, and it's a 1/2 inch is what we needed. So we got all our tools, and we had our bidet seat from the house that we sold because I was trying to use it again. And we entered behind the toilet, and we'll show you. It's really convenient in our particular motorhome, which is the 2019 Newmar New Air, because the emergency exit door opens up, and the toilet seat's right there. So you have access to the back of it, which is huge because it's really tight back there. So we opened that up, and we did some investigation, and we took off the old toilet seat, and I was a little bit off on my measurement. He said it's more like 7 and maybe 3/4 or 8-ish. So we took the old template of the attachment that the bidet needs. You have to put it through, you'll see it when I show you, through the porcelain, and then you slide the bidet seat onto the template and it locks. So we put it on, and lo and behold, it made it through the hole. So we said, whoa, we don't have to drill the holes. Honestly, I think my son-in-law was a little disappointed because he was all ready to try that drill out. We had examined how to drill porcelain, and you have to put down painter's tape, and you have to go really slow and add water. So he was really all excited about drilling into that porcelain toilet seat. But we avoided that, and it's going to save time, so we thought. So we ended up putting the bidet toilet seat on, and it fit. It was a good fit. And then we went and attached the tubing. You had to have the tube that runs out of a T, and we had the T from our other house, and that runs into the toilet seat, and then you have to plug it in. We'll talk about the plug in a minute. But we ended up hooking it all up, and it looked pretty good until we turned down the water, and then, of course, in most of the plumbing jobs that I'm involved in, it leaks. So, and my son-in-law really tightened it up. So we figured, oh, this is a problem. So we decided we better use plumber's tape. So we went and got our plumber's tape and wrapped it. And then after tightening and checking, it ended up not leaking. So the toilet seat was working, the bidet was working, and everything did work out well. We will have to get a different plug, because right now I have a round extension cord, and they do make a flat one that can be flush, and we're going to plug it in to the unit right above the Okay, here we are in the motorhome, and we're putting in starting to put in the bidet seat. You can see from the measurements here that it is about 7 5/8 inches apart on the holes. When I talked to the bidet people, the online bidet people, they were saying that it was beyond 6.5, I think it was, that I'd have to drill new holes in the porcelain, which made us quite a bit concerned. However, we did take the older bidet that I had at my house, which is a BioBidet 1000, and we placed it on the porcelain, and you can see we just made it in. So the BioBidet 1000 would fit on the toilet that's in my Newmar New 2019, and it's a Dometic, and I think it was an 850 that they said. And that's where we are now. We're going to put the toilet seat on in a minute, and then I'll move around in back, and you'll see us attempt to connect the water system to the BioBidet seat. This is my son-in-law Matthew. He is the brains of the operation, the analytical part, and came up with the idea that we could drill a porcelain if needed. But I think we avoided that, which makes us both very happy. We'll continue with the back momentarily. Correction, it's a Dometic 8700, and that's in the Newmar 2019 New Air.
All right, we're looking at the back side of the toilet now, and this is our outlet drain. It appears this is our inlet hose that then apparently goes into a little motor that then brings it up and into the bowl. And so what we're going to do is unhook this hose right here and install this T, and then tie in the bidet hose. And it looks like it's as simple as that, which is actually simpler than a regular toilet. But we're going to give it a shot, and we're going to see if that works. All right, so we were able to get everything hooked up there. We got it teed in. Believe everything's tight. We're going to just double check before we turn it on. And we're accessing it primarily through the emergency escape door, which is behind the toilet, which provides really nice access. Alright, so the hose was not quite long enough to reach for the bidet. I put a little kink in it and the washer wouldn't seat properly. But the bidet comes with a water filter that we went ahead and installed. It's not necessary because all the water is being filtered into the RV anyway, but it gave us that extra little bit of length to the hose so that our angle wasn't too acute and allowed the washer to seat properly.
What tools do you need?
The tools that we used was an adjustable wrench and a screwdriver, and then we had a channel locking forceps, and that's all that we
How about the plumber's tape?
Oh, and the plumber's tape, thanks. Don't I gotta forget the plumber's tape, because that was a big problem. But we ended up putting it in. It does work, and it was pretty simple because we didn't have to drill a porcelain. But drilling a porcelain is doable, I'm sure. And that was the project for today. So thank you for listening, and we'll be back with more problems because I think some other issues have appeared. Thank you.